Welcome back to another Spill Drop video. Today we are looking at 6 new super modules based around this bad boy right here, the square spiral staircase. I'm probably not alone in saying that I wish this building component was more flexible and a little bit more useful. I think it looks fantastic. I mean, maybe not, the twig version here, but I think specifically the armored version of this is just gorgeous. If you can find a way to incorporate this into one of your designs, it just looks so cool. Unfortunately, this component takes up almost the entirety of this 1x1, making it not very space efficient in a base. So there's a compromise. If you have a large base, you have a lot more options for how you can place things. However, you do become a much bigger target, and you also have to spend a little bit more time farming. Whereas if you have a small, very compact base, you're going to be a smaller target. Unfortunately, with smaller bases, you have to be more considerate about how you place your objects. These super module videos are intended to help you strike a balance between keeping a smaller footprint while also being able to store more loot in a more effective or aesthetic manner. That's kind of the whole point. Now, one thing that I discovered while making this video is kind of a cheeky, let's call it an unintended feature. So let's bump this back down to twig. We'll get this one as well. Fabulous. When you're building a spiral staircase like this, you're probably not going to want to leave it twig for very long because it's pretty easy to break. So a lot of folks are going to upgrade straight to stone, especially if they're adding something like this to their base. They're probably already at the point where they've got a little bit of farm loaded up, ready to go with their fancy upgrades, and they might as well just skip the wood phase and move straight to stone, where it's pretty structural, can't break it with a Molotov, etc. And you might think that that is a good idea. The different building skins have different collision boxes and they obstruct objects in different ways. For example, if you were to place a low barrel there and you wanted to put a hopper on top of it, so anything that falls in this square would get sucked up by the hopper into this barrel. See here that with this spiral staircase, it's just not working. There's kind of a beam that is obstructing the funnel on the top of that hopper, blocking it from being placed. So that's it, right? I mean, there's just no way that you can put that hopper there. But what I've found is that's not entirely true. You see, if instead of going all the way up to stone, you stop at, say, the wood skin, you'll notice, hey, that hopper places just fine. That's interesting. Well, surely it'll break if you upgrade to stone, right? I mean, surely if it couldn't be placed there, then oh, well, no. So once it's placed, even if you upgrade a surrounding structure that would block the placement, once it's already there, it's not going anywhere. Now, obviously, if you remove the hopper to make some changes to your base and try to put it back, it's not going to work. So that's ruined. Probably a bad idea to do this, right? What's crazy is that's not even true, because you upgrade this to sheet metal, and boom. Put your hopper right back on there. No problem at all. I consider this to be an unintended feature because it doesn't really make sense why one skin would block a placement for a hopper whereas another one wouldn't. But this is just one exploit that I've discovered in the making of this video. There's another one that's coming up kind of on a similar note, but something that I have been waiting for a very long time. So stay tuned for that one. Before we get too far into this video, I want to say a huge thank you to the Builders Sanctuary team for making me an official partner. So if you want to see this build, check out the description of this video and you will find the Builders Sanctuary code there. All of the other builds that I put into these videos are going to be made public on Builder Sanctuary. Let's get back to the video. Down here in the workshop, you can see we got our 6 super modules loaded up here, ready to go. Number one is going to look a little bit familiar because as you can see back in here, we've got our low barrel with our hopper. In fact, this is the module that I designed, which taught me that exploit. Surprisingly enough, the very first one that I put together, definitely a good start. Now back in here, you can see that there are some small boxes tucked away under the stairs. As you can see, you can fit 2 of these small boxes if you place them with kind of the narrow side facing you and then squeezed into this corner. So it is possible. In fact, you can also get an adapter on this side of this box. With the sheet metal or shipping container building skins, you can't really access that adapter. So you may want to either leave this at stone where you can view the adapter there, or get it up to armored where you'll have access to that adapter. You'll also be able to actually interact with these boxes that way. If you just have them shipping container, the wood, or even the regular sheet metal, you're obviously not really able to access those boxes. They're kind of tucked away. But this module I really love because a lot of times when you see weird building components and base designs outside of the 1x2 or the 2x2 or the 3x3, it's a little bit more than meets the eye. And I wanted to carry on that legacy with this design here. So what I've got is a very convincing bait box, just perfectly visible when you come down this staircase right here. Oh, there it is. You see it? Ooh, I wonder what's in there. You take one more step down these stairs, you're immediately within firing range of this shotgun trap right here. It's very, very challenging to see, and you would be hard pressed to break that shotgun trap. I mean, if you got a grenade bounce down here, and throwing grenades on stairs is not very advisable, but if that shotgun trap gets you, you die within the trigger range of this hopper. This sucks your body and all your loot into that barrel, where it is now either pumped from that barrel through your industrial system to another more secure location, or simply stored right there behind the shotgun trap that killed you. Definitely a good build concept with a large box, a low barrel, a hopper, 2 small boxes, and as many adapters as you want. The most beautiful piece of all, the shotgun trap. Moving on, we have a more basic storage module. Now, if you don't have any of the barrels yet, then this one will work just fine. As you can see, we have 2 large boxes that fit really nicely under here. Fly in, you can see that this box goes in. There's actually room for you to push it further that way, but I kind of like the way that they fit when they kind of butt up against each other like this and meet nicely in the corner. Now, if you do have a DLC with the floating shelf, or if you find a floating shelf in a build that you're able to snatch, or one that's sitting in a box, you can always toss a little box up here as well. A teddy bear if you've got that for the extra comfort. So all in all, 2 large boxes, kind of a limit of about 6 adapters on here. Floating shelf, small box, teddy bear, pretty low key. Now this one I really liked because one of my favorite recent additions to Rust is the mini fridge. The mini fridge is so great. Tiny little refrigerator that fits under a half-high space, so under half-high shelf. You got plenty of room for this little guy, and I've got 2 of them in here. This is kind of the best orientation for them to fit in this space, so they're kind of sideways facing to the left. But as you can see, there's also a small box down there, and it can be a little tough to reach somewhere. There we go. So you can see you can still reach that small box. It's a little tough, and maybe in the future, if I were to redo this, I'd pull it a little further towards the front of this refrigerator. But as you can see, it is still technically something you can reach. It's just really hard to get that click there. You also have another small box here with the adapters, so you can have food that doesn't need to be refrigerated, or water buckets or seeds or whatever, all the stuff that needs to be refrigerated. In these 2 guys, a little bit of extra storage on the wall with this wall cabinet, adapter up top, small battery floating there, a little teddy bear down here for the extra comfort. And I kind of like using these narrow wall cabinets because they provide the same amount of storage as a small box, but with this narrow profile, so they're not really getting in the way too much. All in all, very solid. Now, taking a look at this super module, this is one that I think probably will get the most use. I really love using repair benches because they fit really nicely into all kinds of weird spaces, and even though they're very large, they do provide some really unique opportunities for storage or, cooperating with other deployables. They're very cool objects. And all the way back in this corner, you see we've got a small food box tucked over there that you can reach really easily. We got a barbecue grill. You could put a box under the barbecue grill, but I haven't really found any way that you can reach it, so I just opted to leave it out. We have this repair bench, obviously, a little teddy bear there for extra comfort. We've got our 2 boxes down below and our 2 adapters on those boxes. Now, this is a really great trick for placing small boxes. If you want to incorporate these into your automation system, I love putting my tools and my cards underneath my repair bench because those are things that typically you will need around the same time. Like if you're going to go run power plant and you're going to farm barrels or nodes around there, it's good to have your tools handy. It's good to have your green and blue cards handy there. So I like to have them right under here under the repair bench. When you're placing these small boxes, in order to get those 2 adapters to fit, you really want your first box to go all the way up against the far edge of the repair bench. You'll notice that there's kind of this corrugated sheet metal situation here, and then there is a frame made from square steel. So you can kind of see the square steel frame there and right there. That frame will actually block the box from being placed. You can kind of see the box sits behind that frame and closer up against this corrugated steel. Same on this side here. If you try to place the box directly against this square tube frame, you're not going to have enough room to place those adapters. So make sure you get your 1 box all the way up against the corrugated metal, get your other box all the way up against the corrugated metal, back tucked in behind that frame, and then you should have just enough room to get both of your adapters like so. And here's another fun one, and this is one that I have actually used a couple of times in other base designs. And this is the electric furnace super module. Take a look all the way down here. There's another small box tucked away under there, not accessible at all unless you're using one of the transparent skins for this, such as the stone or the armored skins. But you've got 4 electric furnaces here, 2 small boxes, and adapters on everything. So this can be incorporated very easily into your furnace modules, any of your automation. This is a great tiny module to have in a small format base if you're looking to still have like an outpost that is fully self-sufficient but doesn't need the full space of a main base. These electric furnaces are awesome. They're so small and they fit into weird spaces. You can see that the orientation on these can be very important. I have the doors all facing the same way, but I have the adapters placed kind of different ways here. 1 down below, 2 on the sides, 1 down below, and then the boxes wherever they'll fit. So the adapter on this one under the stairs is going to be on the front, and this one is going to be right here on the top. And last but not least, the final super module concept for the video. This is using the regular low-grade based furnace, which you can see here fits pretty nicely under these stairs, except they actually don't. Let's take it back up to the top here for a second. We have our spiral stairs, right? Go ahead and get these to, let's leave them at wood for now, just to kind of make the point. Wood worked for that guy earlier, right? Surely it should work for these low-grade based furnaces as well, right? Well, fortunately, not so much. Because you see, you can get this furnace in there pretty far back into that gap, no problem, right? But even though it looks like you should be able to get that adapter on there, you just can't do it, right? It's never gonna happen. That's just not it. However, with a recent update that FacePunch released, some things have changed. Now, this furnace is placed very nicely in here. It looks great, but if I wanted to reskin it to, say, this legacy furnace, it's blocked by the wall. Not an option. Okay, that's fair enough, fair enough. Let's go ahead and get this guy out of here. So what if, instead of reskinning that furnace, we placed the legacy furnace here instead? Well, the legacy furnace has a completely different adapter slot. You clip the adapter right there, and that's pretty good. It's not really fitting the vibe that I'm going for, but thanks to that recent update that I mentioned, we can go ahead and just reskin it. And what do you know? It fits in there just fine now. No trouble at all with that adapter. Funny how that is. This is a pretty cool trick. I recommend playing around with it a little bit. You can squeeze another furnace in right there. Looks good. And then you can get your last one in here as well. So returning back down to this module, we're taking a look at it again. We have our 3 low-grade based furnaces in a little conga line, all happy and condensed in here. We have a small box back here for wood or for ore, whatever you've got for it. Another small box here for additional storage. Got our igniter there attached to that button there to keep these guys going so you don't have to spend all your extra clicks turning them on and off. And adapters, of course, the whole way around. Now I realize that this super module video may not be as crazy as some of my videos have been in the past, but if there's something that I've missed that you want to see more of, please let me know down in the comments, because I'm always looking for inspiration, and kind of the best source for that inspiration is you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, and if you want to support the channel, consider hyping down there as well. It's free and it does a whole lot to boost these videos in the algorithm. I want to say a huge thank you again to Builders Sanctuary for making me an official partner. So if you want to tinker around with this design or any of the other ones that I'm releasing in the near future, please check out the description below for the Builders Sanctuary code. I'll be adding them to the videos as well as we go. This has been your friend Spilldrop with another Super Modules showcase. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.